Hello everybody, this is YellowDemonHurlr back with more of the Beginner's Guide. When we last left off, Coda's work suggests that he was kind of coming to grips with the fact that he has all these problems of isolation, and he's been putting himself into his work to try and stave that off, but it wasn't working. Now we're at this door again, this central puzzle. Ma'am, I'm glad to see you've arrived safely. I've captured the machine. It's waiting for you now. We can begin the interrogation whenever you like. And can be quick, quiet, or brutal. The machine was the goal in the last game we played. The machine was something that had broken, and as a result, he could not proceed anymore. I intend to be quick. Very good. Just be warned that someone called a press, so we might have a bit of attention on this one. Also, one more thing that you should know about the machine. It calls itself Coda. That's a very interesting detail. Press. Many questions. Attention. Yeah, no way through these guys. Also, significant is that Coda here refers to himself as a machine, a thing that doesn't have feelings, or even really, it's not even alive, it's just a machine. It's an it. And here it is.
And of course, it's the machine.
You stopped. Your work was keeping us alive? It was only because of your creation that any of us could make it through every day? So here's a sense of frustration. He's been relying on these artistic outlets to keep his feelings at bay, and suddenly he can't do it anymore. And as a result, he's feeling all this pain. So here's what needs to happen. You need to go to the people who are out there and apologize to them. You have to admit to the people that you allowed them to suffer. I've been so alone. I've been so alone. Apologize for leaving me. But it's just a machine. It never answers. Think carefully, I know how to hurt you. I have seen the thing you fear. Right then, I will apologize to the people on your behalf. Okay, so we have two entities here. This woman, this interrogator, and the machine, Coda, the creative, his creativity and his heart, maybe even. Okay. Press. So we have this ghetto. Again, we have a stage and attention, all attention on us. My followers or my friends? My friends. I have a troubling revelation. It falls on me to deliver bad news. I have a troubling revelation. The machine will not apologize to us. The machine refuses to admit that it deliberately hurt us. But this is not important. We are stronger than it thinks we are. We will find a way to live without it. We do not need its games. Let's pay it retribution. Let us show that we are not failures. Follow me, we will destroy the machine. Follow me, we will destroy everything that the machine has created. Here's our stage again. And again, blocked in. Yeah. Can't
Remember,
go there.
you can click to fire the gun.
Yes. Coda, I'll make sure your work dies here. Coda, I'll make sure you are known forever.
So now the work is becoming self-destructive. And I'll tell you, at the time that I first played this game, shortly after he made it, here's what I'm thinking to myself. I'm thinking that Coda is stuck in his own head, and that it's having a very negative effect on him, and that all he needs to do is just start showing his work to people. To get some
I don't think
actual
it's that
feedback
simple.
on his games. It might get him out of isolation. And so, as I'm thinking this, I realize that I could be the one to initiate it. Because it would never occur to Coda to start actively soliciting feedback, so what if I did it for him? If he could see the difference it would make to have more actual conversations with other human beings, would that bring him
I don't
out of his
like where
mental
this is
spiral?
going.
Would it give him confidence in himself? Would it bring meaning back into his work?
Did I do that? Oh.
So I started showing Coda's work to people. I took this one, and the islands which you just played, the theater, the notes, the house cleaning game, and some of the prison escape games. I brought them to people that I knew and trusted. I asked their opinions. And the great part is that they really loved his games. You know, the point of it all was just to give him some external reference point, but they genuinely loved his work. There was nothing for him to be afraid of.
But that's not how it worked out, is it? I have no control at this point. So there's the lamppost, there's our goal. Put down your weapon. Again, no control. Which I'm certain is a deliberate choice. Or maybe I do have control. I may be able to click the fire button. Right-click does something. Left-click fires.
Can you see why I felt like this was the right thing to do? Because it's the thing that I always feel like I need, to be told that my work is good, that I am good. When someone really connects with a thing that I've made, when they see themselves purely in my work, there's nothing that feels better. And I got to give that very same feeling to my friend. I did something, I really felt like I'd done something good, like I was a good person. I felt like there was a friend who was in trouble and was unhappy and maybe didn't like themselves, and I could fix it. If I could give him this gift, maybe I could fix the problem. When they told me how much they enjoyed his games, it was the best feeling. It was the absolute best feeling. It made me feel so happy, so beautifully, beautifully happy.
But it didn't work, did it?
So anyway, Coda finishes this game, and then really he just kind of takes off for a while. So this is June of 2011, and I didn't hear anything from him for several weeks, I guess. And so out of nowhere, one day I get an email, and it's got a private link to a new game of Coda's. This one is called The Tower, and to my knowledge, it's the last game that Coda ever made. So let's take a look.
Okay. This looks familiar. I remember these orange and gray panels. I remember those walls. Maybe it's just because they're stock assets, but...
And this is where I have trouble saying anything meaningful about Coda's work. Because more than anything else, the tower just feels distant. It feels like it's trying to distance itself from the world. It's a very cold game.
That, klaxon, where are we?
This room actually has a maze in it.
Oh.
Except that all the walls of the maze are invisible. And then every time you touch one of the walls, there's this awful flashing and noise, so the experience is really miserable. The game goes beyond not being meant to be played, it actually seems to despise the player for trying to play it at all. But I do want to show you the rest of the levels, so when you're ready to continue, press enter and I'll put a bridge over the maze.
Okay.
And to be fair, it's not like this is the first game that's needed some modification to be playable. Like the house cleaning game. You know, that one used to actually loop the cleaning chores and you just cleaned a house forever. I had to cut it off so that you could exit the house and the game would actually end. But that game had an idea that it was actually trying to communicate. What's the deeper idea behind the invisible maze? The only way past this challenge is to randomly guess the 6-digit code. Like the invisible maze, it's frustrating to me, because it's the opposite of everything else that Coda has made. It doesn't encourage thought or engagement. It doesn't ask anything of me, except a lot of my time. If I could have reached him during this time, then maybe I could have asked him, but I couldn't. I still don't really understand why this is here. I'll put the code on the ground for you here, though, so that we can move on.
Well, I think there's significance to not having an answer. You've got this obstacle that there's a solution. There must be a combination, but you don't even know where to start to figure out how to solve it. $15, $16, $17. On the other hand, this is not a random solution. This is a sequence of numbers, 15, 16, 17. No, it can't be years. It can't be 2015, 16, 17, because this was made in 2010, right? Ages, perhaps. 15 years old, 16 years old, 17 years old. Or maybe it's just a sequence of numbers that you would be expected to try eventually. It's the same switch as before, but it's gray this time. Hmm.
The switch to open this door is actually on the other side of the door, meaning that it's literally impossible to solve from this side. So even if you somehow brute forced your way through the first 2 challenges and you got to this point, there's actually just no way to progress. And it's scary for me, the idea of Coda cutting himself off entirely, just saying, you know, that's it, that's the end of the conversation, not giving me any way to fix the problem. I feel like a failure, I guess, when I can't fix the problem. But I can open this door for you, so let me do that.
This was a, this is not a question of
Was I a
failure.
for not understanding this game? I mean, I don't know why I would be. It's not like everything needs to have a solution, but I feel it somehow. I feel like I failed, and I don't understand why.
This is an extremely complex problem that Coda presents you with. It's hard to...
I remember, it's June of 2011. I'm playing this for the very first time. And as I'm playing, I'm thinking to myself, I don't know this person. I have no idea who this person is. It wasn't the guy I knew. It wasn't my friend. I had come to so many conclusions from looking at all of his work up to this point, and then suddenly none of them...
The problems presented, the problems that people like Coda face are extremely complex. No casual person who just happens by and gets involved can really be expected to know what to do here. Society as a whole, I don't think, really knows what to do here yet.
I had been trying to, though. That was the thing. For years, I was trying to get to know him, to understand who he actually was and what he stood for. I asked him so many times to please just tell me what his games mean to him. I asked him please to tell me what the 3 dots mean. And he wouldn't.
Those lights are new.
I just felt so strongly that if I could have connected with him, that if I could have somehow made his work my own, that I would finally be once and for all happy. It was that I needed to see myself in someone else. I needed to be someone other than me. But he stopped and left, and it felt somehow like I had failed. Where did I screw up?
Well, like I said, it's not that you screwed up, it's that you came up against a problem that nobody really knows how to solve. Dear Davey, thank you for your interest.
I'm the reason that you stopped making games, aren't I? It's because of what I did. I poisoned it for you. I don't think I ever told you this, but when I took your work and I was showing it to people, it actually felt... it felt as though I were responsible for something important and valuable. And the people who played them, they treated me like I was important. They really listened and cared about what I had to say. Even though I was showing your work, I felt good about myself. Finally, for a moment, while I had that, I liked myself.
Stop adding lampposts. Okay, so this is casting everything else in a new light. So this whole experience here is a collected assembly of Coda's games. And this seems to imply that, contrary to what Davey said, the lampposts weren't there. He added them.
And then you stopped, and I didn't have anything left to show people. I just had to be with myself. And as soon as that happened, there was no feeling at all. Nothing. Less than nothing. What does that mean? I'm afraid that I did something really stupid because I don't like myself.
Here's this door. One more time.
That's why I'm releasing this collection of your work, is because I haven't been able to find any other way to reach you. I've tried everything. And so a part of me has hope that if I put this compilation out into the world, and if I put my name on it, that maybe enough people will play it so that it'll find its way to you, so that I can tell you that I'm sorry. I know I screwed up. If I apologize to you truly and deeply, will you start making games again? Please.
No, the wall is moving.
I need to feel okay with myself again. And I always felt okay as long as I had your work to see myself in. I mean, is something wrong with me? Because I know that I did an awful thing, and I'm doing it again right now. Like, I'm showing people your work, but I can't stop myself from doing it. That's how badly I need to feel something again, like I'm an addict. There has to be something wrong with me. Can I apologize? What if I tell you I was wrong? Will that work? Will that fix it? I don't know. I don't think it will, but there's nothing else that I can do. Just tell me what you want. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Please, start making games again. Please help me. Please give me some of whatever it is that makes you complete. I want whatever that wholeness is that you just summoned out of nothing and you put into your work. You were complete in some way that I never was. I want to know I want to know how to be a good person. I want to know how not to hate myself. Please. I'm fading, and all I want is to know that I'm going to be okay.
Epilogue. Okay. Train station. Clock with no hands. So up until
more love, more praise, more people telling me that I'm good. Always more. It's like a disease.
So up until this point, I've been operating under the assumption that these are real events, that these really are games that were sent to him. Now I'm not entirely sure. Things just seem to be... It's too much like a narrative. Too much like a deliberate, like a set of deliberate choices.
Solution. I guess if someone had told me ahead of time that he just really enjoyed making prison games, maybe I wouldn't have thought he was so desperate. I wouldn't have told so many people that he was depressed. Maybe he just likes making prisons.
Empty room, balcony to nowhere.
Even now, the disease is telling me to stop. Don't show people what a shitty person you are. They'll hate you.
Yeah, I'm sure you've noticed by now how quiet.
If I knew that my life depended on finding something to be driven by other than validation, what would that even be? It's strange, but the thought of not being driven by external validation is unthinkable. Like, I actually cannot conceive of what that would be like. What now? I think I need to go. And I'm sorry, because I know that I said that I would be here and I would walk you through this, but I'm starting to feel like I have a lot of work to do. I have a lot that I need to make up for, and so I'm just gonna... Okay.
Oh. This is, this seems to be derived from this makes me think of the desert town at the beginning. And here again, we drop into a hole with no way out. Into a prison. Or perhaps not, because this is, there's a door here, and we're moving up to meet it. Can we actually get through it? Yes, we can. I was wondering if it was going to carry us past if we didn't get there in time. So now we're back at the station. Same room, without the clock. And at the end is the beam from the whisper machine. The thing you cast yourself in to kill yourself for the benefit of others. And ascend to heaven or die on the floor. The end of the hallway here, into this journey, apparently, is death. Except, yep, and we are rising. So we are quite literally leaving this complex, unending maze behind us and ascending to heaven.
Turn back from this cave. You said, let me prove that I'm brave. Let me keep going. But the cave goes for miles and miles and miles. And you're so tired, but I know that you're strong. So turn back, turn back.
And back to the main menu. So I'm not even sure how to begin to sort out my thoughts about this game. It's very complex, far more complex than I can really wrap my mind around at the moment on video. I will note that this casts the levels with the machine in a whole different light. I had been interpreting all that as an internal dialogue, but it's not. It's a dialogue between Davey, the person who is depending on Coda, the machine, and it stops making games, and it hurts, and but beyond that, I don't really know what to think about this game. It's I am not convinced that this is real. I believe this is a narrative that the authors have crafted, rather than a true transcription of events. If that's not right, then I'll add a note in post. So, yeah, very intense. Let's go for something a little bit softer for the next series. Again, as usual, I don't know what that would be, but something less intense. Until then, thank you all very much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye!